Hello guys, welcome back to Thursday's lesson. I hope you're doing good as always. Please make sure that you have everything you need for today's lesson. Pause the video if you need a moment to get yourself sorted. Alright, if you're back, that means you are ready to write our title, date, and learning objectives. Today we are reading the conclusion of the novel. We have finished. Amazing stuff. And we're going to develop our understanding of the creation's overwhelming sorrow. So pause the video and get those written down now for me. All right, let's do our do now. Please answer these questions in full sentences. Please make sure that you are explaining why for any of your answers. Your do nows need to be as thorough as possible. They're going to act as really great revision resources if they are full sentences and if they are detailed. So pause the video and complete the 5 do now questions, please. Okay, you should have your do now completed. So let's read a below summary of the final part of Walton in continuation. Yesterday you read the letters and those letters were interrupted, so we've kind of split it into two. So they're interrupted because the monster breaks into the ship's cabin where Victor's body lies. Both Walton and the monster kind of startle each other, and the creation starts to tell Walton his part of the story when he began his reign of terror. So it's quite an interesting perspective for Walton because he hears the creator and the creation side of the story. And we are going to do comparisons of those as the weeks go on. The monster talks about how he has experienced no sympathy from men, and therefore he realizes that there's no teaching them, there's no making them understand their actions towards him. So he decides that he will remain in the frozen north until he dies. And at this point, he seems to maybe have developed a little bit, and he promises not to harm Morton or the rest of the crew, and he leaves the ship. And at this point, it's clear that the monster feels like dying is his only consolation to relieve everything that he has been through since Victor gave him life. And with this, the monster leaps overboard from the ship and disappears in the mist. At this point, we can assume that the monster is going away to die, but there is no confirmation of that, which is quite an interesting choice by Shelley. All right. So, as always, oh, there's a spelling error there. I was meant to say novel, not nozzle. Open the Frankenstein PDF on Show My Homework and let's read the final part of the text. But please make sure you're starting from where we left off yesterday. Again, you can type in page 166 at the top left, or if you press Control F and type I must arise and examine, good night, my sister, it will take you to this line in the text. So it will save you from kind of scouring through everything. As you're reading, I want you to think about what do we learn through the creation's narrative and how is his narrative similar or different to Victor's story to Walton? Does he omit any details? Does he share things that Victor didn't? And maybe what's the purpose of that? What does that show? So pause the video now and take your time reading the final part of Frankenstein with these questions in mind. Okay, if you're back, that means that you have read the final part of the text, which I personally think's one of my favourite parts, and we're going to zoom in on a section of that now. So this is the extract that you're going to focus on for the remainder of the lesson. So let's just read it and have a little recap. I shall collect my funeral pile and consume to ashes this miserable frame, that it remains may afford no light to any curious and unhallowed wretch who would create such another as I have been. I shall die. I shall no longer feel the agonies which now consume me, or be the prey of feelings unsatisfied yet unquenched. He is dead who called me into being. When I shall be no more, the very remembrance of us both will speedily vanish. I shall no longer see the sun or stars or feel the winds play on my cheeks. Light, feeling, and sense will pass away, and in this condition must I find my happiness. Some years ago, when the images which this world affords first opened upon me, when I felt the cheering warmth of summer, and heard the rustling of the leaves and the warbling of the birds, and these were all to me, I should have wept to die. Now it is my only consolation. Polluted by crimes and torn by the bitterest remorse, where can I find rest but in death? I personally feel like this part of the text is incredibly sad. It seems that the monster has come to terms with the fact that he will never be accepted, and he also begins to take accountability for all of the things that he has done, and as a result realizes that life is not worth living and that death is actually attractive to him now, which is a very, very low point to be at in the creation's life. So you're now going to produce an annotated copy of this extract. So there is a Word document on Show My Homework titled Final Extract. On there are some brief instructions that you must follow to complete the task. Ultimately, the task is expecting you to annotate this extract, and I have given you some questions that are going to guide you to do that. Please make sure that they are as thorough as possible. Please make sure that you are giving those alternative interpretations and unpicking the language. If any of the questions that I have asked don't cover any of the lines that you find interesting, feel free to add your own annotations. This extract will form a practice essay on the creation in the following week. So the more detailed this extract is now, the better prepared you will be for that essay. So pause the video and go over to the Word document on Show My Homework and follow the instructions. Once you've done that, please make sure that you send me a photo of your notes from today, so you'll do now, as well as the annotated Word document with the final extract. Tomorrow's lesson is not going to be a video from me, so I will hopefully speak to you on Monday. Well done for your excellent efforts so far, and I look forward to seeing the final part of this lesson.